Hello people, I'm just getting the hang of this, so forgive me if my videos are not like as informative of you as you expected, but I'm just trying to get the hang of it all because it's a bit difficult. Like I'm doing this for other Hirschsprung people just so that they can get a little idea of life. So look, today we're going to talk again about the now, what's happening now. So as a 40-year-old, yesterday I took Senacot colon cleanse. I take stuff orally to help push the food down because I'm struggling to release on my own. So I took all that this morning because I was anxious about something. Doesn't matter what I took, my bowels decided no, we're not working, and they refuse to move. No wind, no movement, no nothing. Now this can be created from adhesions, but what happens with this is this happens for the rest of your life. Once every 6 months, your body, where it's been cut open. Now, I'm only basing this on a 21-year-old having surgery. In babies, they have time to develop. So this is why they do the operation on babies, because you're still growing and your intestines are growing. So you can cut the part out and then your intestines will grow into their form. Yeah, with me, my intestines were fully grown. I was an adult. Yeah, so they cut the 20 centimeters of bowel in the suave pull through operation and joined it, and then I had a stoma, an ileostomy. But like an idiot, instead of listening to them and keeping the ileostomy for say 3 or 4 months and seeing it through, they told me that your body takes 8 weeks to heal internally. So I signed a piece of paper and said I want the reversal within 8 weeks. Didn't listen to anyone, did the reversal, and then about 3 weeks into my recovery, I was watching TV, excruciating pain like you wouldn't believe. I developed a kink in the bowel because of the surgery, because when your bowels are open to the air, they start healing, and it's called adhesions. They stick together. So instead of a lump of rope moving, it's now a lump of rope with the edges joined. This kink in the bowel caused my intestine to explode out onto the floor, and there's nothing they could do. It burst through the stitches where the stoma was. So now I've got a hole in the side. This caused a fistula. Fistula is a narrow opening and it has to heal on its own. Took 2 years I had to wear the bag for, and it healed on its own slowly, and this was my own fault. You know, I didn't listen and I suffered. Now I don't have a bag, but every 6 months, under stress and anxiety of bills and kids and wherever it is, my bowels just stop working, and the longest they've not worked for is about 6 days. I have to go to hospital because I'm a diabetic, so they put me on a sliding scale glucose because I'm nil by mouth, because if your bowels stop you can't eat, but if you're diabetic you have to eat. So I have this problem, diabetes and Hirschsprung. So I've decided I'm actually paying a nutritionist to find all the foods that cause gas and all the foods that cause constipation and reverse it round and give me a diet that is free of sugar, free of everything for diabetes, fats, dairy, sugar, and free of binding foods. It doesn't leave me with a lot. So here's a good thing. Slimming World. My missus took on Slimming World. She has decided to cook recipes for us, like using Slimming World and their methods. We've been doing it. Weight is dropping off us, and also it helps us to eat things that are healthy. Like I've been eating corn instead of meat, and it actually tastes nice, and I never would have done this. So I've actually lost about 5 kilograms in about 10 days, I'd say. So Slimming World's a good idea for your child, because what it will do is it will encourage you to cook healthy, without dairy, without starch, without carbohydrates too much, without stodgy foods. And these stodgy foods are what is going into your bowels and just sitting there. And then you got to think about parasites. They're in your body. These parasites in your gut, you know, they feed on sugar. So less sugar means healthy gut, you know. So try to adapt your lifestyle and your cooking and teach it to your child who has Hirschsprung. Just a Slimming World recipe book, because not only does it help you maintain, it also lets you eat the things you need. So, you know, avoid meats, avoid all these things, make a list. When I made a list, I will put it up here, you lot can have a look, you know, and just start from the beginning with your child. You know, if your child's had an operation and they're little babies now, encourage them to eat the things. My mum did it for me, and I hate vegetables. I can't stand them. I cried and cried and cried. I was left in the school dinner hall. I puked on cabbage. I just couldn't eat none of it there. And my mum, sometimes I couldn't leave the table, you know, but she had no choice. She had to make me eat this stuff because she had to get the feces out. So I'm saying feces because I don't really want to say poo, but you know, let's we're all on the same page here, you know. So basically, in St Thomas's Hospital, as I was little, all I remember my mum saying was she used to run down towards the hospital with me in her arms, covered in a mixture of blood and poo. No one knew. Only this one guy, Dr. Lawson. I just remember meeting Dr. Lawson all the time, and he had an apprentice. And when he died, his apprentice took over, Professor Nichols at St Mark's. And then when Professor Nichols retired, they've got a new guy at St Mark's, Dr. Davids or something like that. St Mark's Hospital is a bowel hospital, and it specialises in the bowels. So that's where you should really be going. Great Ormond Street is for kids, so yes, they probably have a special unit, but I never went there. I was always at St Thomas's and St Mark's. Now I'm at Farnborough Hospital in Orpington. They have a colorectal surgeon called Mr. Ypsilantis. Yeah, so I'm under him at the minute because we're trying to get a permanent solution for my bowel. You got to stay empty. You are what you eat. So the more you eat in, the more it's staying. It's not coming out. If you're doing like washouts and all that, as your kid gets older, just try colonic irrigation. It's not as intense. You know, people do it for beauty, you know, whatever it is, you know. Once every so often, irrigate, you know, remove dead, you know, bits of food stuck in the large intestine. But you might do it once every 6 months. It will help the child to get in touch with their health. Breed a healthy child. Encourage gym and walking. Walking moves the bowels. Anything to move the bowels is what you want. But after my surgery, when I had the operation, I couldn't stop going to the toilet. So they had to give me loperamide. If any of you are experiencing constant diarrhea, loperamide is basically Imodium. Take one every 3 or 4 hours. It slows the food down so it can get a bit more solid. So if your child's got liquid constantly coming out, just try it. Loperamide, you know, it depends what age group. Obviously I'm not a doctor, so don't listen to my medical advice. I'm just telling you what I've done in experience. I've took loperamide, I'm sharing that. You choose to do loperamide, you do it, but research everything you do and make sure you're happy with that. There is little things that can help you, you know, just stick to the right foods, exercise, like in the morning when you need that regular poo like everyone else, and Hirschsprung's people don't get it, go for a walk. Yeah, that helps. If anyone's got any questions, just send them along. I'll try and answer them. As we go along, my videos will get a little bit longer and a little bit more fun. I'm just starting to remember, but you know, there's a lot to talk about. So I'm just going to keep doing these, even if no one watches. They're just here if anyone fancies having a nose. Alright? Subscribe, find other Hirschsprung people. I've found 92 groups on Facebook, so I'm going to send this all out there. Just see if anyone wants to join in my story. Thanks for listening.